The A stands for gas. Holy shit.
Uh, I was like, what is it? He caught me off guard. I was like, what is he doing?
I know.
I
That
was
was
all
totally
over the place.
unplanned.
Yeah. In reality, it's all Madden. Podcast coming in. We don't have a studio from our residences.
One day we will, though. One day we will
Oh
get
yeah, yeah.
together. We'll do a live pod. It'll be great.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's coming. I think that's pretty set in. As of right now, so we got some things going, motion, balls rolling. But eventually we are opening up. Just I imagine it's gonna be like I'm not doing like a bar or anything like that. I'm not copying their thing, but I imagine we're gonna have a studio, just bunch of studios.
Mm,
Okay, it's,
yeah.
it's just it's just all of us. There's a bunch of rooms. It's like a brothel, but for the podcasters. There we go.
I think those are kind of picking up in the world now. You can rent out podcast space, go in, record.
Damn,
Dude, I
so
would
I'm
do that
already
in a
late.
heartbeat if we were in the same geographical area. I'm, of course, in New Jersey. You're in South Carolina. Not really plausible. But next Denver trip, we will do a live pod. We talked about it in London. We didn't do
Mhm.
it. We will do it one day.
We did talk about it.
We talked about doing one in London, but
Yeah,
it was a wire to wire weekend, and the women were there. There was no opportunity to do it really.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, Denver. Yeah, Denver's probably the best opportunity for us. Just pack the mic, pack the laptopies, and just come on, sit down.
Mm.
That would be a cool one to pump one out.
That would be cool, dude. But it's awesome to be here. Like this is, I feel like I've said it probably the last three podcasts. This is the best time in the Madden League. We're in the playoffs. That means we got a lot of pods, a lot of games. We're going to break down the wild card round games. We've got a great
Hmm.
league member spotlight, and we're going to preview the divisional round. I got some sound bites and some quotes from the coaches in the divisional round. I'm excited to share that
Hell yeah!
um, with the league, but this is also the winners lounge. Congratulations on your round one win against Alex, my friend.
Hey, and same to you, my friend. Also against your divisional foes. Yeah, I didn't even think about it. Winners lines for sure. Feels good, man. I'm just glad that after all this work I did, you're in the playoffs. I didn't lay a goose egg in the first round. So now we got the steam rolling. I mean, what an opponent to I mean, what a road to the possible road to the Super Bowl. I beat Alex two times, Mister Two times, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
facing RK, Mister Six times, and then if I get when I get by him, and if you get by Trout, then I gotta face another Mister Two times. This is arguably the toughest road to the Super Bowl, which is the only way I would want it.
Yeah, dude, you are going against some guys with some hardware. Combined 10 trophies possibly standing in your way between you and a Super Bowl appearance. And dude, my take about this being the best time of the year is getting mad hate. Logan said best time is the draft because it's the only time the Titans have some hope. And then Lou said playoffs are just the nonsense we have to get out of the way before the draft. So
I
I'm
disagree, man. I disagree. Playoffs are fun. I feel like this is what we've said it many times before. All these people, tune in all the games. There's so much interaction going around, and then the tensions are so high. People are freaking out. People are confident. You see all this stuff go down, and and then more people. I shout out to people. All right, gotta give people their
shout out
flowers.
to people.
Yeah. Shout out to chat. People are starting to get on the cameras. They're starting to stream. They're starting to include audios. We got commentator finally figured out. So these some of these big games are getting commentators set up. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Um, but yeah, we're not gonna actually. You know what? We're not even gonna talk about draft. That's sorry you suckers that did not make the playoffs. But this is the wild card review pod. Okay, so we're gonna leave that draft stuff for later pods.
I love the energy in the chat. The boys are here
Mhm.
and they are pumped about the pod. And you're right. We will have draft stuff. There will be time for that. I know the West
Mhm.
Coast boys will probably do some draft preview stuff as well. I'm hearing rumors that they're going to have a pod coming out soon too. So just a lot of all Madden content for the boys, commentating, podcasts, just great games. But let's go through the wild card round because it was kind of it was the round of
Wild,
upsets.
I was
It
gonna
was
say
wild.
it was wild. Yeah,
Let
lived
me
up to
pull.
the name.
I want to pull up. Let's just pull up the power rankings just so we can shit on ourselves a little bit because boy did we not have a hot start
Yeah,
to the
we messed it
playoffs.
up. I mean, at least you got one right on the bottom five. All my bottom five teams, are still alive in the playoffs. We were both very wrong with our bottom two seeds. Shout out to Castro and Derek.
Mhm.
We should have kind of, now that I'm looking back at it, we kind of, I feel like maybe we downplayed the Cardinals a little bit too much. I mean, they beat the Giants last year. So maybe we just bought into the whole Queen Ewers hype a little bit too much. But
Mhm. Which we
eh,
have done before. We love Quinn Ewers on the pod.
we do love to we do tend to fall in love with guys long hair. We can't help it. However, we're gonna get to that game. We're gonna cover it. That game was actually absolutely insane. There's a couple of things that happened that are interesting.
Woo.
Um, yeah, let's go over some of these real fast. Lions are still alive. We both have them ranked at 11. We have I have Raiders on my side. Who you got? Oh, Panthers, obviously the number one seed. And then yeah, I guess that's about it. You know, if if Panthers Lions matchup, that's a quite interesting one coming up.
Yeah, right. We both have them right next to each other in the power rankings. I think that's
Yeah.
probably the first time we've had that.
Yep.
But who do you think? I think I'm doing a little bit better so far. Would you say that?
Yeah, I think you got a little bit of the top teams. I mean, you got three, I got four eliminated on the top, and I only got two eliminated on the bottom, and you got three eliminated on the bottom. So you're like, if we were keeping a score, you're like one team ahead. You got one game lead on me almost.
Mhm.
Although I got top two seeds still alive, you only have, you know, we both have two out of top three alive. So that's that. There's that. Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Mhm.
So we'll continue to keep an eye on these. We'll see how they unfold. But just goes to show, even though you guys are listening to us, we don't know what we're talking about at all.
No, we are talking. We know what we're talking about. We just like to light some fire under some people. All right. Like
True.
I'm just here motivating people. Why do you think I ranked myself so low?
No, this is the most motivated out of anybody from these power rankings. It's Jarrell. Jarrell was fired up in the chat today.
I know.
It's so funny.
He's a big Castro guy right now. He's
Hmm.
loving the Browns on the same trajectory as the Jags last year. Um,
Yeah.
I will say right now, it's not happening though. I don't think Browns are going to the playoffs. Sorry, Castro. He's gonna hate me. I can almost get this
You
AFC
mean they're not
team.
going to the next round?
Who knows? They might go to the next round. I just don't think they're getting to the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna downplay that much. That's a tough team. I gave him credit before. It's a good roster. So, with Hendon Hooker's gonna have work cut out for him against the Pats. All right, you wanna before we dive into a kind of review in the divisional round, should we just kind of like go through talk about these games individually real fast?
Yes, sir. Let's do that. No, Trout, you haven't missed anything. Trout's just tuning in. You have not missed any Browns talk. We're actually just about to get to the wild card games. Let's go in the order with which they were played. So I believe the first game from wild card weekend was we weren't sure when it was going to happen because Castro's grandma passed away, but he was
R.I.P.
able to play the game shortly thereafter with grandma on his side. And snow game in Cleveland against the Jets, Joe Kim, and he was able to pull it out. What did you see from this game? Like, just take me through it.
Man, it started off looking really bad for the Jets. I mean, Browns come out, they run the ball well, they move the ball well. They're working at curls. I've never seen somebody work curls so well. Joe Burrow was just dotting him up, and then I think they were about to go up 14-0, and then unfortunate D line interception real Jets back in, and kind of like in the first half they were back and forth, but then T Law with too many interceptions, three interceptions, three touchdowns to Burrows, 3-1. Um, Cleveland goes up 17 to 7 in the first, and then after that they come out of the gate in the second half and even they just step on the gas all the way. Drop 24 more points on the Jets. I'm not sure like what really happened. Nick Chubb was feeling it. Um, Jets rushing game was non-existent. 14 rushing yards total. That's not gonna help you. At least I don't know. I guess some people don't. I don't run the ball at all, and neither does RK. But Browns are very, very talented on a defense. You can't just
Yeah, dude.
keep doing the same thing. I think that's what really came down to. Turnovers obviously did not help, and then um, not a single red zone trip for the Jets. Is that something? Um, that is interesting. I'm not gonna ask you if you think it's interesting, but that is interesting. A full game, zero red zone trips for the Jets. Well, all three of their touchdowns came deep. Looks like or outside of the red zone. So, um, yeah, 17 minutes was the time of possession. For the Browns, they just outplayed, man. We doubted him, but came here with a good plan, spirit. Again, shout
It's
out
the
to
spirit of
Grandma.
grandma. Yeah.
Yeah, just out there helping out our boy Castro, and he took care of business.
Well, this is what I saw from that game. So
Hmm.
he gets the ball and he's running like the first drive. He's running the ball with Nick Chubb, and his offensive line was getting a push. He ends up marching down the field, takes control of the game, 7-0. Jets come back out. I think they maybe got one first down, but then Joke tries to throw it to maybe the tight end in the seam on the right side.
Mm,
Jalen Ramsey makes an acrobat
yep,
pick. Then it's like, damn, now the Browns are really in control here.
yep.
And Jets can't rely on their running game. They have to kind of go all passing. And so much of these playoff games are like who is in control of the game. Like, and when you're not in control of the game, you kind of get into desperation mode, and that's when really bad things happen. And I think that's why we saw that second half lead kind of balloon to what it was, and the Browns really pulled away there. One thing I really like too is this was a snow game,
Hmm.
right? And I think only the home team gets the snow game scenario, and so Browns were the home team. And so Castro, with a savvy move, hits up Joakim and he's like, "Hey man, like I really want to wear white. Like that's my like lucky uniform. I'm gonna wear white." I guess Joke didn't know that it was a snow game, but Browns players were just blending in with the snow. I get a text from
Uh,
Joke in the third quarter. He's like, "Dude, now I know why he wanted to wear white." I was like, "Yeah, I don't know why you let him pull that shit, dude.
Good
But it's
old
genius.
bamboozled. Yeah, yeah. You
Some
can't.
gamesmanship."
I was gonna say you can't hate on it. That's a savvy move, like you said. So, um, who I believe you were playing in a snow game too against Dolphins. Yeah, I hate that. I hate playing against white jerseys in the snow.
Sucks.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Get that out of here. All right. Well, looks like
One other
Browns
thing I
are.
will say about the Jets, though,
Yeah.
0-3 in the playoffs. 3 trips to the playoffs, not a
Ooh.
single win. He got blown out by the Chargers in season one.
I remember that.
I don't recall exactly who he played last season in the
The Pats,
playoffs.
didn't they?
I don't. Maybe. Hold on, I'll tell you. I'm looking it up. Oh yeah, Patriots 42
Yeah.
to 14 in the playoffs.
Yeah, he
Damn.
was
So
that seventh
basically,
seed,
yeah,
wasn't he?
3 blowouts in the playoffs from the Jets.
Dang. I wonder what the future looks like for Trevor Lawrence and Micah Parsons. I wonder if some of the pieces are getting moved. I mean, that team's the team doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses, I don't think. What do you think the quick solution could be?
I don't know. Same thing as Dolphins. Tear it all down, rebuild the offense. Not in
Oh.
terms of personnel, in terms of approach to the game, play
Mhm.
calling, strategy. You need to change. Like you need to adapt. You had the 2 Super Bowl runs at the end of last Madden. You can see now that once you get into the dance, it's not working. So you got to switch it up.
That's true. That's true. All right. Great points by you. All right. What was the next game they got played?
The one that we called Cowboys Falcons.
Okay, that was a fun booth, by the way. Great. That was a fun time calling that game. Man, what can I say? This was kind of like very uh close to what we saw earlier into the season. then against Alex.
Hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, Atlanta just got off to a big lead in the first half. 20, 34, 24. 24 to 14, 10-point lead, and then they got the ball back too after the half, and they
Right.
scored. So, I mean, that's a tough outing for the Cowboys. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is this kind of where they're kind of the same uh position as the Jets? Like, kind of like need to figure out like how to just seem very one dimensional to me. Like outside of big boot play action or uh long touchdown passes or maybe some of those trick plays. Outside of that, there's not much going on there. 40 interceptions for Malik Willis.
Tough.
Yeah, I mean,
I just
only 68 yards rushing, and I gotta say this for what you call it, Falcons. Brandon Allen absolutely took over the game.
He's a dog.
Yeah, 19 attempts, 219 yards, three
Oh,
touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, what can you do, right? Jonathan Taylor seven rushes for 50 yards and a touchdown. So maybe you let him maybe you run the ball more, but that's tough to say when you're behind. So especially in the second half, down big 20 plus points, you can't really commit to the run there. So I don't know, man. What you got?
I think Dan, he's good. I don't think there's anything really wrong with like the plays that he runs. I think he sometimes calls them at the wrong time. Seven
Mm,
carries for Jonathan Taylor is just not enough, especially when I remember one of them broke for a touchdown on the first play of the drive. Like if I was Dan, I would try to when I'm calling games to be like, all right, what would I call here? Let me call something else because that's probably what they're expecting me to call. Like some more first down passes. Like I see so many teams, like Alex was doing this against you. First down run after first down run after first down run, and you were living in the backfield. It's so predictable. And that's the best thing that that I want to see as a defensive user. I want to go against somebody that's predictable on offense.
mhm,
And so I think Dan needs to kind of hone in on that, like get a little bit more creative. Like the plays are fine. You're calling plays that you like and that work. And
mhm.
Dan was moving the ball, but you got to mix up the order here. It's like RK always says, you got to be telling a story with the play calling. You can't just be going, favorite play one, favorite play two, favorite play three. Like there's always, they got to connect and kind of feed off each other.
Yeah, it needs a
And,
setup. Yeah.
right. And then one thing about the Falcons, I said this during the broadcast, and I think a lot of people can take this away. If they're not very good at defense, this is one way to get better at defense. Jason was so on point with his tackling. There were no extra yards that entire
Mm,
game, really no big plays for the Cowboys. So every drive was like 7, 8, 9
yes.
plays and just waiting for Dan to make a mistake. It's not like Jason was out there like using DBs and making like baiting, lurking plays. It was like, all right, you want to run 10 plays? Like, I'm going to bet that you make a mistake on 10% of plays and my defense will capitalize.
That's such a great observation by you. That yeah, that we and you mentioned that during the pod too. You were saying how Jason was making him gut it out, like just
Hmm.
taking these long drives, giving you what's there. I'll give you that flat to Jonathan Taylor. Make that pass, but I'm gonna make that tackle for 2 yard gain, and you're gonna have to come out and now you're in second and 8 instead of uh big pickup. So that's a great observation by you. Um and the whole setup and storytelling with the plays. Little bit of another tip I'll give you to it. It doesn't like I know we say running the ball is good and it is good, right? It's just an easy way to mix it up, especially if you have a good running back. But sometimes it's not really about if you run or pass. You can set up a different kind of plays with just pass or with just run too. There's plenty of counters, plenty of different types of run plays. There's jet sweeps, there's fake jet sweeps, and
Hmm.
some of these top players in the league, they really know how to make confuse you and hit you with different things when you're not expected. And um, you know, those players usually end up advancing in the playoffs because they're unpredictable.
Well, such a good point. I feel like Joe Kim is one of those teams where he'll work in the run game, but it'll either be inside zone or it'll be trap. And it's like you're
Mhm.
calling a run play to like break up the every passing, like passing every play, but you're not giving me anything to think about really. Like it's inside zone. It's pretty easy to cover, or it's trap. You know, it's kind of easy to deal with. So
Man, yeah, that's absolutely right. And then even like passing out different formations. You said inside zone. Like I see you coming out in a gun. I know you just have 5 on linemen. I'm not really worried about coming out in a heavy set. I'm okay coming out in the nickel or dime. And you know, if I see you're lined up, if I suspected you're running, I'm just gonna bring the safety down or something like that. But when you come out in when people come out in the heavy sets, I formations, 2-3 tight end sets, I'm like, that makes me think that you coming out. I'm not trying to get pancaked. They kind of forces me to like put my playmakers, fast guys on a bench and bring those bigger linebackers out to kind of like stop the run. And that switches up my flow too. And then guess what? If I guess correct, I mean we gotta cover my game too, but if I guess correct and I stop the run for first and second down, now I feel comfortable just coming out on a dime and just either a safety or either somebody outside, kind of like guess where the play's going. But yeah, for sure you got to mix it up.
all right, next game was great performance by Falcons and Dan. He's a perennial playoff team, so he'll keep
Mhm.
getting. It sucks that he keeps getting matched up with Jason in the playoffs. Like
I know.
it's a
Uh,
tough draw.
Yeah, same matchups. Cowboys and Falcons and Cardinals and Giants. The same outcome so far.
Hmm. True. What was the next game? Packers Lions.
I believe so. Yes.
So Packers Lions.
Yeah.
This we had a feeling this one was definitely on upset watch because yes, the Packers were the 2 seed and probably one of the best defenses in the league, but the Lions, they beat the Packers in week 2, they beat the Packers in week 18, and
Hmm.
they beat the Packers in the wild card. So they clearly owned the Packers this year.
Yeah. This game was weird, man. Both both these teams did not really find success passing. Like they were running the ball well, and then they were trying to make a pass here and there, and they were just throwing interception. Uh,
Hmm.
between the two, they barely went over 300 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. If you combine both of their stats together, so this was definitely a Green Bay versus Detroit playoff game. Just
Yeah,
running the
for
ball.
real.
Let's see who's more tough. And Lions definitely out tough the Packers. This is a close game too. Went down to the wire. I believe it was 9-14. Packers had the lead, and then Lions scored right at the 2-minute warning. And then they went up. I believe they tried to go for two, didn't make it, and they were up 15-14, kicked it off with no more under 2 minutes left. Green Bay had 3 timeouts, and then Green Bay was making a little drive. I think they picked up 25, 35 yards, kind of like towards the midfield, driving for the game. All they need is a field goal. And
Hmm.
then, man, DTR, that's the young quarterback, just throws the absolute duck, overthrows the receiver in the middle of the field on a little drag or a slant route, and then just lands right in the Lions
Yeah.
defender lap. So um, I did notice he did drop a little, like he was dropping far back. He dropped like probably 10, 15 plus yards. So I'm not surprised that he missed that throw, but he still hate to see it. Um, yeah, and then Lions just kind of just went down, milked the clock, kicked the field goal, went out there and got out of there with 18-14 win. We'll see now. I mean, Lions advance, and this is probably the best case scenario for Lions, right? I know Stevie's no easy opponent, but if you're gonna face either Falcons, Cardinals, or Panthers, you're thinking, man, I want to get the guy whose quarterback's out of the game,
Oh
right?
and we'll get to Edge. I asked him how he feels about the upcoming matchup, so we'll get to what he said about that. But
Okay.
just staying on this game for a second, like I'm looking through the stats, and you talked about it with the passing. I'm just like, when did they move the ball? Like Edge had 130 passing yards on, you know, what was his completion percentage? 45%. So I'm like, all right, maybe he got some rushing yards. His leading rusher was 18 for 43, averaging 2.4 yards a carry. Like this was an ugly game, but let's give a round of applause to our boy Edge. 3 appearances in the playoffs. This was his first playoff win this Madden. So now 1-2 in the playoffs. Very nice. Good
Let's
job,
go.
Edge.
Yeah, hell of a win. All right.
Who was
What
next?
we
Was it
got
you?
next? Was it me or was it Oh yeah, it was me and then it was you.
Well,
All
no, no,
right.
no. Them, you, and then Cardinals, Giants,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
me.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. They played right after me late at night. All right. Well, let's bring up the good old Texans and good old Raiders.
Can I
Uh,
give you my take on your game before you
I'd
talk
like
about
to
your
hear
game?
it. Yeah, I'd like to hear it. Hear
I
from
gotta
you.
say, bro, I said this to you yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the best defensive game I have ever seen you play, dude. You were
Wow.
so locked down in the second half. Part of it is because I'm harping on this predictability stuff again. Part of it was because Alex was very predictable in the second half. One thing about
Mm.
Alex from last Madden, he was so like he would right when you're expecting a run on first down, he'd just throw it to the flat and get 7 yards, and boom, you're on your heels. He wasn't doing this. He was calling, halfback slash or like halfback dive, and Fletcher Cox was just like, I'm ready for this. I'm waiting.
Oh, he was in. Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved my D line trenches. We won the trenches. I think that was a big key factor why the way game playing went for us. It was awesome, man. Every time this stuff got stuffed, I was like, oh yeah, I know, because I Alex, man, he likes balance. He likes to pick up 3-4 yards, chunk yards here and there, and then take a shot. I was like, I know I'm putting in an uncomfortable situation, and I know I can, and I know he respects me on the offensive side, so he's not gonna um, he's not gonna like. I actually did not expect him to punt as much. Not gonna lie, especially second half, he gave me a couple of punts, and I was like, oh man, he's really going conservative here. And I mean, I was kind of locked in on offense too. Did not really turn the ball over, which is not really often. I usually throw you at least one pick. Josh Allen missed only 3 throws the whole game. 300
Yeah.
yards, 3 touchdowns. He did get sacked 3 times, and then yeah, 20 pass completions, 23 attempts. So I was dialed with Allen. But first half, let's just go back to dial it back a little bit. First half, man, I was sweating. So offensively, it was good, right? I was going down. I think I got the ball first. Um, went down there, scored. He got the ball. I made him punt. I was like, all right, that's good. And I think I went back down there and scored again. Tim Patrick, back to back Tim Patrick touchdowns.
Hey.
Big first half game. I was like, all right, 14-0. I'm feeling great. Whatever I had to do, I get one more stop. And fucking Josh Down bombs just came in, dude. That's the one thing I wasn't expecting. I really
Oh
had
no,
to
no. Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson.
Dotson. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
meant. I really had to change up my freaking defensive game plan on the pass downs in the second half. I was like, oh my god, just this guy's absolutely unbelievable. I ended up putting my fastest guy on the outside, even though he's not the biggest. But I was like, Dotson's not big either, so maybe he'll make up for it. But man, 4 catches for 153 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he was just catching bombs and bombs, and he single-handedly kept him in the game for most of the game till the second half, midway to late second half. Wow, like did not see that coming, man. I mean, I have him a third down. I'm like, all right, here comes the sneaky crosser with a dig route behind it. He's gonna make me choose and make a right decision. And then next thing I know, he uncorks it deep to the right, and just my guy just absolutely getting burned, catching a touchdown. So that was a fun thing to watch.
It was funny. He had the deep bomb to Dotson. I think it was on the right sideline. He
Mhm.
barely gets 2 feet in the end zone.
Yeah,
And I think that's the last time he hit him. After that, it was either that corner that you put on him. He was getting like a last
21
second little swat
SWAT.
in there
Yeah,
at the very end,
yeah.
or Tua had to cock back to fucking throw it deep, and he would get hit on the throw. I don't think Dotson touched the ball after that touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a big crosser touchdown, and then he had a one uh deep bomb that he didn't run it in for a touchdown, but he caught in like inside of 10, I think. And
Mhm.
man, I think that's where he threw an interception in the second half, I believe. Oh no, that was in the first half. I got an interception on the goal line with Minka. He
Oh,
he
I remember that.
got an interception off a swat. Man, those are the best, aren't they? When you're like, all right, I'm gonna make a conservative play, make sure he does get a touchdown here. He swat the ball, and then he just lands in your defender's hand. You're like, I had it both ways, you know. Uh, so yeah,
You made the right decision, and Madden rewarded you with the pick. Yeah, that is the
yeah,
best. I know what you
that is
mean.
the best feeling ever because sometimes you'll go for the pick and then you'll get a stupid animation. You guy gets mossed or whatever, or he just puts his hands up like oh stupid,
Oh
trying
my
to
gosh.
that is the worst.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, man, I felt good. I was kind of I felt very good. The biggest
Couple
thing about the
crazy
match
Josh
day.
Allen throws too, dude.
Oh, that is very true. Yeah, that is very
Like the
true.
one where he was like running to the sideline. I think it was either a wheel route that had ended that was coming back, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
dude.
there was two big ones like that. One, like you described, it was a wheel route that I had open, but I had to like as it came open, I had to start running to evade the rush, the pass rush. So I didn't want to throw it on a run. It was a weird, awkward. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just he's not gonna be open. I'm just let's see because I had a guy coming across with a thing. Maybe I can use or somebody. Maybe somebody gets a open on the left side. Josh Allen. Man, great thing is that I can make throw anywhere on the field.
Mhm.
Um, and then, it's right like 2 steps before I step out of bounds, I see my running back finally stop on a real route, turn around, and just staring me down. And I was like, oh boy, this is it. Just encore kid, bring him back a little bit, make that catch. I know Alex was absolutely furious on that play. Because right before, like a couple of plays or a couple of drives before that, I had a similar play, but that one was close to getting picked off. This is where I think it was Quinn Johnston. I believe it was Quinn Johnston on the sideline. Same thing. Kind of he came on a crosser. I scrambled out and then I see him just sitting on the sideline. I was like, all right. But then, when your receiver just starts running the opposite way, man, he started running towards the defender and the ball just goes right between them and then he just catches it off his shoelaces, which was awesome. Yeah, definitely needed some big plays from Josh Allen, but I mean, fuck, man. That's why we paid him fucking $300 billion for the next 8
Yeah.
years. I'm gonna expect you to make those plays. So, yeah, that was a fun one though for sure.
Yeah, great game. Congrats. I know you had been, waiting for that rematch for a while. So when he knocked you out of the Madden 22 playoffs, that was big time.
Yes, yes. This was a big revenge game for me against Alex. Just he broke my heart against when I had the Cardinals and he had the Cowboys in the NFC Championship in the last Madden. I thought that was it for me. All the stars were lined up, and then you know Alex just could not miss that game. He made absolutely amazing throws over and over and over again. I think it's funny because it's obviously gone off my stream, but I just remember the temper tantrums I was throwing over the game. I was like throwing my hands up. I was like, oh my God, sitting there looking at the ceiling. Yeah. So, so it feels good.
Good. Happy for you. All right, let's move on to the last game from the NFC wildcard side. It was the Cardinals getting, according to the power rankings, an upset win over the Giants. Einhorn, I woke up, I pretty much missed all of this game, I'm sorry to say. But I woke up to a bunch of clips in the chat. I was like, oh boy, that's some shit happened last night.
Man,
Yeah, you want to talk about any of those clips?
yeah, because I couldn't sleep last night. Mostly because my phone was going off, buzzing, and then no, I took a bunch of energy drinks. I think that's probably the biggest reason why. So, um, I ended up watching most of the game, and there was a couple of weird things happening in that game, but there's only one that I really think is a bullshit. Everything else was kind of like Matt. We all see things like that, and I think it was just mental errors off from Einhorn, our boy Einhorn. The first thing that happened was what's his name? Who we playing? Derek. Derek scores a touchdown. Kicks off the kickoff after he gets his extra point. And when the ball lands right on the end zone line, but the
Hmm.
marker is just past it. So he catches the ball there, right? And he had, I got to tell you, he had probably like about good 3-4 seconds to take that out at least 10-yard line, where he just stood there. The guy's not taking a knee. He's not doing anything. Even Derek's like, "Hey man, you got to take that out. You got to
I
take that
know.
out."
It's so funny.
and then and then he just kind of freezes there, and instead of taking it out, he just runs backwards. No, I just remember palming my hand. I was like, "Can't do that. Can't do that." To his defense, he did say it's never happened to him before. I feel like that happens to me at least like once a week.
Yeah.
Just catch right on the edge, and your guy doesn't do anything, so you just oh shit, panic, take it out. That was the first thing that happened. So he took a safety there. He had to give the
Yeah,
ball back.
if they don't kneel immediately, you better get your ass out of the end zone.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Uh, but then he goes down there. He scores, I think, the touchdown, and then Cardinals come back and get another touchdown or a field goal. It's a decently close game. Going into the second half, it was 26-10. So he's down by
Ooh.
2. Yeah, 26-10. He's down by 16, but he gets the ball back in the first half. He goes down there, he scores a touchdown, gets the 2-point conversion. It's an 8-point game. I'm like, all right. I'm like, hey, you had a bad first half. You coming out here, you showed a great poise, great resiliency. Touchdown and a 2-point conversion is huge there, right? Um, and on a defensive side, he shows up again, gets the ball back. And this is the second thing. And this is the worst thing, probably the worst break he had the whole game. And I think I sent you a clip too. It was a 4th-and-1 run. Okay. It was an I formation, heavy set I formation, stretch to the right. He needed 1 yard. He was about on the 6-yard line, I think. The first down sticks were on a 6-yard line. He snaps the ball, gets about 1 yard past the sticks. Like, I'm not even kidding. The ball body, everything gets past
His
at least.
ass was past the line, like, he was
Yeah,
fully in front of it,
he's
yeah.
fully in front of it. And somehow he gets hit and gets knocked back. I don't even think it was a broken tackle, the way I watched it at least. He just gets he gets hit back, knocked back. His ball lands right on the line. And then you didn't even notice it because they're both quiet because they both assume that they got it. And the commentator's like, "Oh, and it's short." And then Derek goes, "Wait, what?" His absolute disbelief. And I was like, "Oh shit." In my head, I'm like, okay, he got fucked big time there. This could be it. I was like, if that's me, I'm throwing a fit. You try to challenge it, turnover, it's a turnover and downs. You can't challenge that. So in my head, I'm like, okay, this game's over. And Einhorn, what's his name? The big linebacker, not linebacker, big safety.
Curse.
Curse?
Yeah.
Curse. Yeah. He has it's a 3rd-and-7, I think. He did a good job stopping the clock. 3rd-and-7. Curse gets a huge interception right on the Cardinals territory. And I'm like, okay, you're back in it, man. You're down 8. You have I think you had about 3 minutes left on the clock. I was like, you just need a quick score here. And you got 3 timeouts on your in your back pocket still. And I think this is where he kind of this is what I stopped blaming the game and I started blaming Einhorn more because he kept talking about the 4th down. And I was like, dude, forget about that. I think I even said him in the chat, like, dude, move on. You got the ball back. You in his territory now. And then he ended up throwing a pick, throws the ball into double coverage. He throws a high ball. It was like one of those tight end zig routes. Not a zig route, but it's the one that goes towards the end zone. I forgot. It's
like the stick and nod.
Stick it. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. And then he throws it. He tries to squeeze the ball in between a linebacker and a safety over the top. Does an aggressive catch, ball bounces, and then his linebacker, his safety picks it off the couple of bounces, right? And I didn't think that was that big of a deal. He thought that was
that happens all the time.
Yeah, my safety, Minka Fitzpatrick, one of his abilities, a pick artist. That means every time somebody tips a pass, like his ability is to catch that tipped pass. So I'm sure that's what his safety had. Who was it? Who got that cool interception? Let's see.
You talking about tip drill? Oh, Kevin Byard?
Kevin Byard, yep. Tip drill. Yeah, that's what it is. Tick drill. You're right. And then after that pick, I mean, there was not much at that point. There was not much to do. He just ran. I think he scored another touchdown after that.
Yeah.
Game out of hands. But back to my point, he I feel like the real reason he lost is because he was so stuck up on that failed 4th and 1, that he just forgot what was in front of him. In front of him was plenty of time, 3 timeouts in the back of his pocket, one score game, and he forced a pass. And then I think he was making an excuse of, oh, if I got that first 4th down, I wouldn't be forcing that pass. I don't really buy it on Einhorn. I think you were in the perfect position to tie the ball up there. I think this game, got away from you, man. I think that's the truth to it.
Great summary, dude. And it does suck. Like Madden, they tried to do this like physics tackling shit, and I
Mhm.
feel like everyone's been victim to it, once or twice, where like your guy gets hit, he goes down, and the play is not over, and forward progress is all fucked up. So like, I guess that's definitely what happened on that 4th down. But
Oh yeah, it was that play out of the two other ones, the safety and the interception. That's the one that I say, yeah, if that was a bad break. The other two, but he just really dwelled on all three of those, and he blamed the game. It's an 8-point game. Forget
yeah.
about it, man. You just gotta overcome those. So yeah, so
And
I
how
don't
often
need
do we
to.
talk about poise and composure, especially in the playoffs? It's like, yes, Madden, it's not great. It has its issues. But the beautiful
Mhm.
thing about it, we're all playing the same game, right? So as soon as that happens and you get the ball back, it's time to, brush it off and, focus on, what's in front of you. But it seems like he wasn't able to put it behind him.
Yeah, and I mean, otherwise, man, he outgained him on passing yards, total yards, rushing yards. He had twice as many first downs. Uh, I mean, he got an interception on his. He threw 2 interceptions, but he got one back there too. So third down conversions was 8-1. Like he was getting defensive stops, but he just couldn't overcome some gameness, even though he didn't really affect the game as much as he thinks he affected. I think that's the problem.
All right, we talked a lot about Einhorn in that game. Let me give a little bit of kudos to our boy Derek.
Hmm.
So we weren't sure if Derek would run the ball at all. 13 carries with Christian McCaffrey for 52 yards, 4 yards clip. Good job, Derek, running the football. Very good. And then another thing, passing. I'm like, am I missing something with these stats? 5 completions for 269 yards. What the hell happened?
Is that really what it is?
Yeah, he had an
I mean,
80-yard pass, and he averaged 30 yards per attempt.
yeah, he just ran the ball, and then every time there was a third down or a second down, like a pass down, he threw a bomb to Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill like 3 touchdowns on 3 catches or something like that. What was good
Damn.
to see. Yep,
Yeah, 3 for 230. God damn.
yeah, 3 for 230, 3 tugs. Uh, yeah, Tyreek Hill's good. He's fast.
And we got Einhorn in the chat. I think I responded to your chat last night. I totally agreed that pass was a bad decision. I
Mhm.
posted the clip because it was a wild pick. All right, so at least he
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't complaining about the tip.
No, no, yeah, I don't think he was complaining about that one. He was definitely really upset about the safety and the 4th down, and I'm on your side on the 4th down, 100%. I think that was it was a bullshit, maddenism, but it is what it is. Damn, 3 catches for 230 yards, Tyreek
That's
Hill.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean
That's
that's
like the
the
Randy Moss game, like 3 catches
yeah,
for 150 yards and three
yep,
touchdowns.
for sure.
You were
Except
about to
way
say that,
better.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
That what came to my mind. All right. Well, congratulations, Derek. Second time beating the Giants in the wild card round. They move on to face the Falcons. And then yesterday's game, man. It wasn't yesterday. It was this morning.
Yeah.
This morning's game. Very interesting defensive grind out type of game. All right. And
Mm-hmm.
let me kind of start off by uh, setting up. You were what? The pick. That's what I was getting at. The fumble 6. That was like a almost a turning point to a
Oh my
very,
God, it
very,
was.
yeah, it's very, very dark path. I thought that you were about to kind of come off the rails there because what I saw from Henda Hooker first, I'm watching because I missed the first half, so I rewatched the first half after the game was over. I was watching Henda Hooker. He was like, "Oh, stepping out of the pocket, just finding the holes to pick off, get away from the rush, make the throws on the sideline, sprinting down, just finding guys, picking up yards. He was playing great, and I was like, oh yeah, this is over. Like he's figured out how to make Hendon Hooker, unstoppable. And then Hendon Hooker, I don't know if he got gassed out in the first quarter too much or what he was, but on the last drive, he throws a pick, or does
Oh,
he
here,
throw
hold
a
on,
pick?
let me take you through it.
Yeah,
So I'm up 10-0, right?
yeah,
And I have the ball back.
yeah.
I just stopped Christian for the second time in a row. I scramble and I run with Hendon Hooker towards the sideline. He fumbles
Oh,
on the sideline, and
yes.
then Christian's player kicks it out.
Yep.
Joke is in the chat. So lucky, like you got away with one there. I'm pressed, right? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
dude, I was near the sideline. That's why you run it to the sideline, because you
Yeah.
can fumble it out of bounds. And
Yep.
I'm still in my own head about this. 2 plays later, I fucking throw a pick like a jackass.
Exactly.
Then
Yeah.
Christian gets the ball. He hits Xavier Worthy, my draft pick, over Joey Porter to make it 10-7. I get the ball
Yeah.
back. Very first play of the next drive, Hendon Hooker fumbles again. He like gets hit, fumbles. Somebody kicks the ball over to
Yeah.
the Dolphins player, who just has to walk into the end zone. And I look up and I'm just like, I was in control of this game,
Yeah.
and now it's fucking 13-10 going, or 14-10 going into half. Dolphins get the ball. Dolphins get the ball to start the second half. They take the entire third quarter.
Yep.
The entire third quarter, they get 3. It's 17-10. Now I'm sitting there. I know I said it was an epic comeback. Like, it was only 7 points, but you just feel like gut punch, gut punch, gut punch from that, dude. It was crazy.
I mean, the sequencing events went, you going up by 10, you giving up deep after a defensive stop, after a deep fucking shot for a touchdown, you coming back throwing a pick, you coming back for a fumble 6. I mean, in your head, you're probably just like, you just feel it like slipping out of your fingertips. But and then, man, I
So
sweet,
it's
man. And
so
not
it's
really
17.
sweet. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's 17-10.
Yeah.
I'm driving down. I get
Uh-huh.
stopped. Travis Etienne catches it on the sideline. I swear he had 2 feet in bounds, but they called it out of bounds. And so
I
I have
thought
to.
so too.
That was crazy. I had to take 3 with like 3.5 minutes left. Something I
Mhm.
never do. But
Yeah,
I know, I'm like, hey, my defense got me here. Let me take 3. My defense will get me
smart.
over. I get the stop. And then, very first play after I get the ball back with like 2 minutes left, I take a 10-yard sack. And I'm just like, Jesus, 2nd and 20. I got to go 80 yards for a touchdown right now. But then Hendon Hooker, the very next play, with a guy in his
His
face,
face.
again, just chucks it to Alec Pierce down the sideline for a
Oh,
60-yard
that's
bomb.
a
Next play,
big
ETN
throw.
touchdown.
Yep, that was a huge throw to Alec Pierce. Man, crazy, crazy game, and
And what about the end?
crazy
What did you think of the?
ending.
Yeah.
Crazy ending. Yeah, I was just getting that. I mean, at this point, scores is 2017. And then you have Dolphins, one timeout left, about what, 30, 40 seconds. I think they keep getting those sack, throw out of the sack animations, yeah, incomplete passes. You have Anthony Richardson missing some passes, but every third down he finds something to pick up
Mm-hmm.
first down, get out of bounds, pick up first down, and then he finally gets down to your half. I believe he was on 35-yard line. Gets there, calls a timeout. He's about 17 seconds. He had a little more than that. He had 25 or so seconds left. He has first down. He goes incomplete. Wastes
And
about
second down
5
was a
seconds.
second down was a
Throwaway.
throwaway.
Yeah, he scrambles out left, throws it away, and it's third down, 17 seconds left, and he calls like a drag route and like a little over the top crosser, and in his head he's probably like, I'm gonna throw this late to the side. If anything, it's incomplete, or the worst case scenario is I can run him out of the bounds. Oh my god,
But dude, why
this
do you
was
even like?
no, yeah, this was
That's
this
either
was
got to
the
be like. Sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
I was gonna say this was the same mistake I made going to the half against Alex. I think the same case. I had like about 15 seconds left, no timeouts, and I was at 15-yard line, so I was like, maybe I can get a pass off here, get out of bounds, whatever. I got sacked, wasn't able to get
Mhm.
points at the end. But he did the same thing. But this is at the end of the game. You're down by 3.
Down
Oh,
3.
yeah, you have 3 points in your pocket right now with 8-mile-per-hour wind,
Like, yeah, like
going
15
after
mile
buck
an hour
track.
wind.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, he was 15. So Yeah, hindsight, definitely take that 3 there, go OT overtime. Your defense played good. Your offense, I mean, both of the defenses really played good, and offense just made just enough plays to stay live in game going up. And then what happens? He snaps the ball, kind of like panic rushes backwards with a quarterback. And I think what happened. I think Timmy clarified this. I think what happened is he clicked both of the sticks down. Was it?
He
Which
was
is
definitely sprinting, and then I
yeah,
guess also hit LT, and when he went to
yeah,
throw
he
it
hit
away.
something, which means he hit the combination of buttons, which makes your quarterback self sack. He drops about 17 yards backwards, self sacks, clock runs, no timeouts. I just see you. This game.
I was shocked, dude.
Yeah, I was shocked too. I was watching it in the office. All my coworkers, I had 2 guys watching. They were like, "What did he do that?" They were flabbergasted also. So, man, couple of crazy endings, a couple of crazy games today,
Well,
man.
I was pumped to see him come out and try a play because it's like, okay, are you going to throw a touchdown right here? Like there are so many bad things that could happen,
Yeah.
and like a very slim chance of you actually just seeing it right off the snap. Oh, I got a guy open. Like it would have been a jump ball anyway. It's not like anybody was going to get torched down the sideline for a
Mhm.
touchdown. You just got to take the point. So I know 14 seconds you're tempted, but I think Christian will learn from that for sure.
Yeah, and then I guess I mean, like, what you scared of? Because what is the field goal? About at least 2 seconds, 3 seconds off the clock. So
Mhm.
you're giving a ball back with maybe a little over 10 seconds. You got 2 plays in your chamber. You can call. I mean, did you even have timeout?
I would have gone to overtime, dude. With the Hendon Hooker fumble situation at the end of first
Yeah, just
half, like
not
it would
worth
have been
it. Yeah,
overtime.
yeah, you was definitely going overtime. So, definitely not worth not a worthy risk there. And man, the crazy thing is, I was like, maybe he's trying to snap here, see if something's there, and just clicks throw it away right away. Takes the flag, moves back. What is it? I mean, from the pocket, you probably get what 5-6 yard uh, penalty, and then kicks the field goal. But man, he just played that totally wrong and fat fingered the controller and just lost the game. Lost the game. Who knows what would have happened in overtime?
Anything could have. And with that game, it was a crazy game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but outside of one deep touchdown, he still didn't do much against the offense. So
Mhm.
I also in my head, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. I'm like, maybe he's just like, he
I
scored
gotta win it
one.
here.
Yeah, he scored one deep bomb, and then he's like, I got outside of that, I got a pick fumble. I mean, fumble 6 and at 3 points. I haven't done
Mhm.
anything on offense. It took me full quarter plus to get 3 points. Like, what am I gonna do in OT? Especially if I don't get the ball. On
It's a
the other
great
hand,
point.
yeah, on the other hand, you have 2 really good drives, 4 touchdowns, and then big plays after big plays on long down situations far away from the stick. So he's in his head, I mean, looking at the yards too, like you have 300 yards on him and he has only 171 yards, one rushing yard. Talk me through that. How does Dolphins only have one rushing yard in a playoff game?
I don't know. My boys on the D line showed up. It's not like I was doing anything crazy. Oh, one thing I will say, Nick Bolton is a freak, dude, at stopping the run. Like he's only 5'11 and nobody wanted to trade for him when I put him on the trade block. That dude is a
Mm,
run stopping machine. I love having him on the team. I extended him. He was one of my first 4 draft picks because he's young and he's just like an athletic little linebacker. I love having him. He was eating everything up in the run game.
I mean, let's see. He had 7 tackles, 5 solo, sheesh, 1 TFL. I mean, that you love that from your what you call it, run stuffer. Yeah,
No
he's 5'11",
interceptions for the
230.
Patriots.
No interceptions, no sacks, was there a fumble?
Mm-mm.
No fumbles. Yeah, just clean games.
Few punts.
Yeah, it's always sad to see when you don't throw the ball away and your opponent gives you the ball twice and you still end up losing the game. But you know, thinking about that, maybe that's what's going in Christian's head. He's like, man, this is the game right here. This is
Yeah.
third. I'm either throwing this up for a touchdown or you know, it's tough.
Run away from Bolton. Got it. He's the inside linebacker. You can't run away from him. He'll
Yeah.
find you and he will get you. All right. We'll talk more about the divisional games. Let's take a quick break from the games and do our league member spotlight.
All right, let's do it.
A guy I can't believe we haven't done yet. A commish. A guy we both hung out with in person. A great guy. And it's the owner, user of the Cowboys. We talked about his game, and it's our boy Dan.
Dan the
So,
man to stand.
so I asked Dan, how old is he? Where does he live? What does he do for work? Favorite memory, favorite player, fun fact, and anything else. So, Dan, how old is he? Guess.
31.
No, 30. He
Close.
lives
Give me
very
some
close.
credit. Yes. Jeez, I know he's a. Yeah, I'm not gonna guess. Go ahead. I feel like I have a guess what his favorite memory is, but go ahead.
Okay. He lives in Stoke, England.
Mhm.
For work, I'm a senior lecturer in sport and exercise at Staffordshire University.
I knew that. That's what I was gonna say. I guess 30 because I knew he's a, teacher or a professor. I think lecturer.
Fuck, I
Yeah.
I hadn't read this. I always tell you I don't read these until we do this shit live.
Yeah.
And his favorite Madden memory, like in-game memory,
Mhm.
was Tyreek Hill torching J.C. Horn for a playoff win against the 49ers. That hurts.
That was a good one. That was a good one. He single-handedly kind of like locked you inside your head in the playoffs last Madden for a long time.
Yeah,
that JC Horn, Tyreek Hill, JC Horn matchup was horrendous. He sweated Dan out every time you guys played.
I know.
It was tough. And he was never kind of like over the speed. I feel like he'd always get just cooked off the line. Just absolutely, got manhandled on the line of scrimmage, just cooked him down the
That
field.
game alone kept J.C. Horn out of the Madden 22 Hall of Fame. I feel like because he was probably like a top
Mm,
corner for
yeah, I
all of
remember.
Madden, but he had that horrible performance in that game, and
I think we
it,
I think we
it put
talked
a
about this during that Hall of Fame draft too. Where
yeah.
like, he would have had a case, but the game looms large. Wow, great moment.
Damn, yeah, good one, Dan.
Yeah.
All right, his favorite DNVR memory.
The London trip. It
Yeah,
has to
so
be, yeah.
easiest answer ever, getting to party and celebrate the DNVR All Madden Bros as the Broncos actually won a game in my country. Aside from getting married, perhaps the best weekend of my life. Still can't believe Levon's drink of choice is a whiskey sour. That's
Is
a
that
super common drink.
yeah, whiskey sour is cool, man. People are against whiskey sours. Let us
Dan
know in the
is
chat. Um it's just
wasn't
did this
wasn't
happen? Did Dan punch you in the chest?
no. Let us know what you're talking about, Trout. We don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Off his meds probably.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Favorite Madden user? Maybe a surprise to some, but I love playing against Jason. Our games are usually tight, except when he dismantled me in the playoffs this year, and we always have a good chat and a great laugh. Jason does rule on the mic during games.
He's awesome. Yeah, I like Jason. I'm gonna
You
say
do?
me. Oh yeah, big right. Oh, people have told me that I'll be dick riding Jason a little too much. He's a good guy, man. I agree. He's a great because I think I played him only once last Madden, and I was like, damn, great guy to chat with. And then
Mhm.
ever since I seen watch some of these games. And I was
All
like,
right. This isn't the Jason League member spotlight, Dan.
yeah, go back
Relax.
to Dan. Why are you letting me go off of it? Stevie's gonna call me a dick
I
rider.
mean, his name comes up and you immediately go on a tangent. You can't help
Mhm.
yourself.
Sorry.
All right. Favorite Madden player. I don't think you're going to guess either of these. He's got one on offense and one on defense. I didn't even know he had this first guy
On offense,
on
it's not
defense.
on defense. Give me the
Anybody in the
position.
chat lets me know. Defensive line, D tackle.
Yeah, no way I would guess that.
I don't know if. Let me check the Cowboys roster. See if he's on their team this Madden. No, I don't think he is. It's DeForest Buckner.
No, yeah, DeForest Buckner is on Chiefs, I believe. Phil has it, I think, this year. But okay, cool. Was he good? I'm guessing.
I mean, he's a good player in real life.
He is, yeah.
And on offense, a guy we kind of just alluded to.
Hill?
Yes,
Right.
the wife
Yeah,
beater himself.
yes, the beater piece of shit. God, I hate that guy. He's been active on Twitter. He's beefing with Presidente right now. Did you see that one?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, pretty funny. But yeah, man, Tyreek, I mean, he trying to recreate that Chiefs offense originally in the Madden. He had Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. You know, he was just throwing bombs, breaking records, and then he ended up swapping uh,
Mahomes for
Patrick
Herbert.
Mahomes with Herbert. Yeah, and then continued dominating with him. So yeah, cool favorite player, dude. You're a Tyreek Hill fan.
DeForest Buckner is on the Tigers? What the hell are you talking about, Trout? Someone take that man's keyboard away. Tigers?
Maybe
Oh,
the Bengals.
Bengals?
Bengals. That could be it. I just seen him at the end of the season, and Chiefs and Bengals were back to back weeks, so that
Okay.
could be true.
All right, fun fact. I am a real life Ted Lasso, but in reverse. I coach football,
Oh, mhm.
parentheses, soccer, to a really high level, but next year I've agreed to do some coaching on my university American football team, the Staffordshire Stallions. Gulp. Wonder if YouTube audibles will help. That's funny. So he's coaching American football in England. That's cool.
That is awesome. YouTube cheese plays coming into your local amateur football team.
Yeah,
Oh no, yeah, that I knew he coached soccer. He's a big sports guy, man. Dan is always active in the chat. He follows a lot of sports. Obviously, Broncos the biggest that we talk about, but yeah, big. I feel like he's just a perfect American dude, just living in the wrong country.
that's true. Get him over
Mhm.
here.
Yeah,
Move
for
to
sure.
USA.
And by the way, going back to his favorite moment, every time anybody gets asked that question, what the favorite moment is, the first flashback I have is us jumping in the bleachers as I think it was
K1
K'Wan
Williams.
Williams interception that iced the game. I was just jumping in the bleachers, and just our girls, our ladies on the side recording this. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
that was a memory definitely, you know,
that's a
locked in my
core
in my
memory.
brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Good one.
Yeah, I know. And Dan's such a gentleman. That's like Cynthia's always asking how Dan's team is doing in the league because she loves Dan. She thought he was like the nicest guy ever.
That's fucked up. Because what does Cynthia say about my team?
Yeah, well,
Wow, I
I
feel
know. I was
betrayed.
like,
I feel betrayed.
yeah, I know. I did say, I was like, yeah, Levon was able to beat Alex. And she was like, oh, who does he play now? I go, oh, he plays RK. And she goes, oh, so he's going to lose. And I go,
Hands on sight.
yeah, I know. Yeah, you got a player. You guys will,
Yeah,
you can set the record straight.
for sure.
And then anything else from Dan? I just want to thank Timmy for creating this league, the DMVR boys for igniting the fire behind my Broncos passion, you boys for this awesome pod, and all the boys in this league who make this league incredible. P.S. Keep an eye out for my picture in the ALL MADN merch coming soon. He was the first one to order Madden merch. I just got the notification that my ALL MADN T-shirt had shipped. So
Wait, what? Did you drop the link for this?
no. We're just before we flood the website
Ah,
with all you guys. We just want to make sure that it actually works and we get our
quality
shit before
t-shirts
you
and
guys
stuff.
actually like waste all your money. You know, we're
Fair
the guinea
enough.
pigs.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone will have a chance. And also, we need to tweak the logo a little bit because we have the DNVR flag in the logo right now, and we are probably going
Mm,
to need to remove that now that we're actually selling merch with the logo on it. We can't
unless you
really
want,
have the
yeah,
DNVR
unless
thing
you
on
want
it.
to give royalties to fucking Spano. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we're all right. But hold on, we were talking about this a little bit. In for removing, we were thinking of removing the flag and putting like a globe in the middle because we're an international league. Thought that'd be kind of cool. Fill that
I'll be down
space.
with it. Yeah.
All right, but that's our boy Dan, league member spotlight Dan, coach of the Cowboys.
Yes.
And Phil said we need big boy sizes. Yeah, we got all sizes, brother. We good.
Yeah, we got big boy, small boy, Adam, Brina. Like everybody can get some.
I can't help but laugh because Einhorn just put a paragraph in the chat, and
Oh, Jesus.
and Brina just hits him with the gift. Move on with your life. I love Einhorn, but Einhorn is the king of just harping on something like
This
until
is why you lost
he's
the
pissed
game,
him.
bro. That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to tell you. I'm gonna read that when I'm trying to go to sleep, so I can. It's a lullaby for me. Uh,
All right,
All
back
right.
to the playoffs. So we've already been going for over an hour. So let's pick up the pace a little bit. We only got 4 games to talk about, though.
Yeah. What is it? Final eight? Not final eight, but
And they call it Elite Eight in college
Elite Eight.
basketball.
Yes, Elite Eight. That's what it is. Okay. So let's I guess let's go with NFC first.
Let's start with the NFC. Yeah, let's start with Panthers against the Lions. So I asked these guys how they're feeling about the game. I'll start with Stevie. I said, "Yo, bro, how are you feeling about your matchup this week for the pod? Let me know." And he goes, "Better than I thought I was going to feel." We know it was obviously terrible. Justin Fields
Mhm.
went out. Immediate reaction was the season is over. Now that we're closer to the game, I feel good. We have weapons for days, and we don't plan on asking much from Jacoby. With guys like DK, Cup, Kelsey, and Blake Corum, we just have to play smart football. Do you think that this might be the best thing that could have happened to Stevie's offense? Are we about to see kind of like a smarter, more like move the ball around, take what
Ooh.
the defense gives him type of approach? Like, is this possible?
This could be, yeah, this could be a great thing. Yeah, blessing in disguise. And kind of to compare something to last Madden, I had Russell Wilson for most of my season, and I traded him to Stevie for one season, and then I had to learn how to play with Zach Wilson. Okay. And I ended up trading back for Russell Wilson. But the one season taught me a lot, and I think it made me a better Madden player overall because after I got the Russell Wilson back, I made my deepest playoff run that year to NFC Championship. So this could be a good thing. This could be a really good thing for Stevie. And as far as matchup goes, this might be a good matchup too because Edge is not really kind of like a outsmart you on a defensive side user. He's more of a scheme you, trying to out scheme you on offense. So you should be able to get some plenty of offense on our lines, I believe. And then
All
that
right.
secondary is still pretty good, so you should hold up against the Lions. This is an intriguing matchup. It really is. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's
let me
right.
just tell you what Edge had to say about the matchup. I said, how are you feeling about your matchup? Super confident. I usually have success against Stevie. And then I said, anything
Mm.
else you want to share with the viewers of the pod? He said, nothing really, just excited to face an opponent that's not familiar with my playbook and knowing that his game plan has to be all about the run makes my job easier. I would
Ooh.
caution you, Edge, you're not going to get a run heavy offense from the Panthers just because Fields is out. I expect Brissett to throw the ball around the yard, like we talked about.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I don't know what his game plan is, but if I were to guess, I would still guess he would be at the worst balanced. I don't think it's gonna be a run heavy for sure, but I think the lowest it's gonna come down is the balance. I still think it's gonna be heavily dependent on the pass. I mean, you still got a lot of weapons on the offense. You cannot just cut DK Cup out of the game plan and just give it to the running back the whole time. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, he does have a point. He's definitely gonna be dialed back. So we'll see. We'll see how he comes out. I'm interested to see this one.
Do you have any leaning on who you think might win this game? I think it's definitely going to be a close game. Like that,
I
I can
think
tell
so
you.
too. I think so too. And the reason I think so, it's because I think there's gonna be at least from Panther side, I think there's gonna be a little bit of more conservative. Not play calling, but just conservative, approach to the game as overall. I feel like I'm gonna see a couple of punts, field goals on, fourth and shorts and stuff like that. I think he's gonna play smart. He doesn't want to get behind too much. So it's definitely gonna be a close one for sure.
Yeah, I think,
I'll take
I think
Stevie
it.
in this one.
I'm going to take Stevie too, and I think it's because like Stevie, he had the bye week, but I think he's chomping at the bit, and he's had enough. He's not rusty. He's had enough time to get over the Justin Fields thing. Like I think
Mhm.
it's working in his favor. And also, we talked about the Lions and their offense was kind of anemic against the Packers. The Packers' offense is not great. If the Lions show up and play offense like that against the Panthers, like they're not going to be able to hang. I
Yeah.
don't think it'll be that bad. I think he'll be able to hang with the Panthers, but I do think the Panthers are going to win this one. So
Okay.
we're both on the Panthers.
Yes. Damn. we're big liners the doubters coming out of the gate.
Hey, no,
Um,
Lions got their first playoff win. It was impressive against the Packers. Like, it's something to build on.
for sure. Would this be the first playoff win for the Panthers also? If
Oh,
they win?
let me check on that.
I
I'm sure Stevie will let us know in the chat before I even get
Yeah,
there. But
let us know, Stevie. We
I know
can
he was one and done last season. He lost 21-27 to the Falcons. Season one, yeah, he lost to the Cowboys
Wow.
17-14.
Okay. It's good that he's not facing Jason. I feel like somebody that knows you really well, probably a worse matchup for you in the current position versus somebody who you don't play as often. Kind of anything could happen. All right, we can move on to the next game. Look, we had a little cat fight over here. Now we're going to the little bird versus bird, Cardinals versus
Mm.
Falcons. Um, how do you feel, man? Well, let's hear from the coaches actually.
Yeah, so Derek, coach of the Cardinals, the division winner, I'll start with him because he's the 4 seed. This is what he had to say. So he said, Cards have had an up and down year, but we are confident in our team. The Falcons only got better after their Super Bowl win last season. They are great at disguising their defense and have a brilliant offense. If we can slow down the offense and keep to our game plan, we have a chance at knocking off the champs. And he said something that we've talked about a lot on this pod, the defensive mastermind with the disguising defenses. And
He
we
is.
talk about it all the time.
He does he does something on he the things he does on defense is completely different than what everybody else does. So he's definitely unique in that fashion. I mean, with Cardinals, man, with Tyreek Hill, if he has a big game like that again, I mean, it's crazy, man. When you have a weapon like that, when you know you can like at any point I can pop off for a one play touchdown, it's just such a comforting feeling like three passes for three touchdowns, nearly 250 yards from one player. That's just you saying, run, chuck it up deep. If it doesn't work out, I'll punt. I'll do it next drive. So I definitely do think that that's probably not going to work out as well against Jason and the Falcons. I think they're a little bit more aware of your strengths, and they're going to try to take that away. So we'll see. We'll see if Jared can, you know, trick him, outsmart him on defense.
Yeah, lean on the run game, Derek. Jason's got those crazy DBs
Mm-hmm.
that gave Dan a lot of trouble. Lean on Christian McCaffrey even more than he did in round one. So this is what Jason had to say. I feel like I have the team to make a run, and the Cardinals just happen to be the next team in the way. Oh,
Cold.
cold.
Yeah, cold. Um, la- is that all he said?
Now he said one more thing. If I can
Yeah.
control, I wanted to start with the disrespectful thing, but then he gave some respect. He said, if I can control the deep shots to Hill and put pressure on Dak, I think I can get the dub.
Yeah. Good. I mean, that's a solid game plan. He probably watched that game over and he's like, man, this guy completed five passes and three of them were touchdowns,
Yeah.
one play touchdowns to Hill. Like outside of that, he doesn't really have much offense going. But you're definitely gonna also. I mean, this is a great thing. Derek probably went up in the second half, and he's like, "Man, I can't do anything wrong here. I'm just not gonna show my playbook." Could be
Mhm.
could be that. Could be him trying to like giving you one play touchdown. So you're not gonna see all my counter punches if you take that away. So this is gonna be another very interesting matchup. You know who I'm gonna go with? I'm gonna take the Falcons here. And I hope to see Panthers Falcons NFC Championship.
All right, I'm going to take Derek. I'm going to take the Cardinals because I underestimated them in round one. He beat one of the teams I was really high on, the Giants. And so I'm going to give respect to Derek. He's a guy that's been in the league for a while. If I'm him, I see the Falcons as like, if I get through the Falcons, I got Jacoby Brissett or the 7 seed Lions waiting for me. This is my biggest test en route to the Super Bowl right now. So
Yeah,
I'm riding with the Cards.
yeah, great time to be alive. This is big. All right, let's move on the offs side.
Yeah, so we didn't give statements from ourselves, but I
Mm-mm.
got voice recording statements from Trout and from RK. So which game do you want to start with?
Let's start with. Let's start with Trout.
Okay. All right. So this was Trout's statement. I haven't listened to this. So if there's any racial slurs, anything, I didn't know about. Okay, I didn't know about it, so I'm playing this for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Great question, Coach. Going into the first round, it wasn't a secret. There was one other coach out in Jacksonville that believed in the Browns. Everybody else, in this league thought that the Browns were this team that just kind of snuck into the playoffs and were going to be an easy bye week for whoever got to see them in the first round. I think the message came out loud and clear in the box score for the Jets game that the Browns are not some team that can just be looked over. We're playing some complimentary football. Defense is playing out of its mind. 3 turnovers in the first round, scoring points on those turnovers, taking possessions away on offense with double the time of possession than our opponent. We're excited. We're excited for the challenge. We think that as long as we play smart football, we continue with the strategy game plans that kind of been working the last couple of weeks, that we can make a serious run at this Super Bowl here. But yeah, Joey's locked in, studying some film. We saw some stuff on defense that we feel like we can take advantage of when we were scouting out this little Dolphin game. I think it's worth mentioning that it could be and it should be Dolphins versus Browns. Patriots versus Browns, but it doesn't matter who the opponent is. We're excited to be here. We're ready to have some fun.
Okay.
I mean, I love the chirping back at the league, because I think he was doubted probably by every single league member for this playoff appearance, and rightfully so. He got his chirps out, and now it's time to show off and against even a tougher opponent. Let's go. Phil's hyped. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for the Browns. Let's what you got? I was gonna say let's listen to RK and then we'll talk about the outcomes and all that stuff.
Well, no, let's take it one game at a time, and then we'll move on to your game. So, a couple things.
Yeah.
Well, we did he was a foregone conclusion when we were doing the power rankings. Like, all right, 14 Browns, put him in there. So there's a lot of disrespect coming from the podcast for sure.
Yeah.
And when you give up 105 points in a game, you can expect some disrespect going to come your way, dude. Like,
yeah,
it was warranted.
That's definitely what I was getting at. I didn't want to give it away before talking about the Broncos, but yeah, I mean, that has to be one of the biggest reasons, for us to show, disrespect the Browns. You've given up the highest points ever in this league history to another opponent in your playoff team. So yeah, there's definitely the big part in that. But again, like I'm glad that they got that win out of the way. Again, Joke and Jets is a really good team, beat a really good team in the playoffs, and now you just got to prove yourself even against some would say tougher opponents. So
I like the subtle jab against the Patriots, saying that it probably should be Browns Dolphins in this round. Did you catch that?
No, I mean, yeah, I caught the jab, but I think this is just it's just not true.
And I like this 2-0 in the wild card round. That's your round, dude. Great, that's your round.
Yeah.
But we're in the divisional round now, so you're playing the big boys.
He won the last year. No, he didn't make it.
No, 2 years ago, first season, I believe.
First season playoffs. Wow, it's great.
Let me tell you. Hold on, schedule. 2023. I don't think he made the playoffs last season. No, he did not. 2022. No,
Steelers made it. Yeah. So
yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you talking about last Madden?
Oh, maybe I don't know.
Get the fuck out of here, Trout.
Close
the yearbook. Yeah, dude. Come on.
That's a good one. Yeah, you don't want to know, which is good. 100, batting 100 right now. So, all right. I guess that covers it. You wanna give your statement, or we listen to our statement and we give ours at the end?
I'll give my statement just so we can stay going game by game. And this reminds me of my first Super Bowl run in season 1. I had the first round game against Timmy. I won 16-9. It was an absolute sweat fest. And it turned out to be my toughest game of the playoffs. The next round, I smoked Brina, and then I took care of Hank, and then I dominated Adam in the Super Bowl. So I got my sweaty game out of the way. Now I got the Browns in round 2. I couldn't have asked for a better matchup in round 2. I'm going to take care of business there. And then whoever's waiting for me in the AFC Championship game, it's going to be a long day for them as well. So we're ready to go.
Okay, I love it. Yeah. I was gonna say it almost feels like you're either one and done, or you're going all the way when you make the playoffs, right?
Well,
I
I did
don't
make
know.
it to the AFC Championship game last season. I
Okay,
won a
I
cup.
was gonna say that's the anomaly though, because
Yeah.
before that, you would either get bounced out in the first round or the first game you played.
4 first-round exits last year after
Yeah,
a Super Bowl run. Pathetic.
yeah, and then you came in here and then you made a Super Bowl run the first year too. But at least you kind of got that narrative out of the way last year. At least made to the FC playoffs before you got bounced by Jarrell and Jags. Cool, man. I mean, I'm
Who you got
definitely
in
looking
this
for
game?
this matchup. I'm taking the Patriots. I got the Pats, and you obviously got the Pats.
Do you think
And
it'll be a more lopsided? Because I put a who you got in the chat this morning for Dolphins Patriots, and boy, it was like 85% Patriots. Do you think it'll be
yeah,
more lopsided or less? I think it'll be less.
I was
I
gonna
think
say.
some people are going to be on the Browns.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Jarrell is the PR representative for the Browns, and a lot of people are getting hyped for the Browns, and I think it's gonna be a little closer. But I do think the score's gonna be more lopsided. That's my prediction. Definitely gonna be more than 3-point games.
All right, let's go to the next game. I think this is game of the weekend, and this game
Mm.
is going down tonight. Broncos
Possibly tonight,
Raiders.
yeah. I'm
Oh,
waiting. I'm waiting on to respond or from response. Uh, big call. He's going down as we speak. So as long as he finishes in a timely manner, we're probably knocking it out tonight. But let me set it up real fast. This
go
is,
ahead.
and you said it. It's a game of the week, and there's a couple of things for this. This is number 1 and number 2 offenses in the entire NFL going head to head. These are MVP races. Number 1 place Justin Herbert, number 2 Josh Allen. Offensive player of the year, number 1 place Aeneas Smith, number 2 Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Damn.
These are just 1 and 2 offenses, just absolutely two offensive passing powerhouses matching up in a division round and a divisional rivals. We are 3-3 against each other all time in this Madden. This is a man, this all timer. So yeah, I'm pumped, man.
You got me hyped, dude.
Yeah, I'm pumped. This is a great matchup. Should be a fun. I totally expect for us to score well over 60, 70 points total. And hopefully, uh, yeah, I don't want to say hopefully. Definitely not going to be a boring game. It's going to be a fun game, and let's hear from the arcade first.
Yeah, I
From
can't
arcade.
believe let you get your statement in before the 6-time champ and the
I know.
16-1 team. But let's
I know.
see what he had to say.
Well, usually, so for the like a fights, UFC fights or whatever, your challenger comes in first, and then the
Oh,
champion comes in later, or the challenged person. But this is
okay.
we're both a playoff team, so here, go ahead.
Nice. All right, here we go.
The Raiders. We meet again. And we wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. We have a lot of respect for the Raiders organization, but we also have a lot of hate for them. And this is a rivalry game that we embrace. I tell my guys, when you set foot on that field, you got to have hate in your heart. You can't just want to beat the Las Vegas Raiders. You have to want to put their fucking faces in the dirt. Excuse my language.
It's okay.
This is, the best on the best. This is the number 1 offense in the league versus the number 2 offense in the league. It's the number 1 quarterback in the league against the number 2 quarterback in the league. And I'm going to put a lot of pressure on our defense because Josh Allen can go out there and win you games. And we saw it happen in the Texans game. He won that game with his improvisation. And so I've been stressing to our guys all week about that second play. You can cover the first play. Congratulations. Now you got to do it again during that second play when he gets out of the pocket and he looks to make plays with his feet. This guy is special. And this team is difficult. They've beat us a couple times in the last couple of years. We got them this year, but we know how hard it is to win 3 games against one team in the same season. So we're going to bring it, and we're going to bring the hate.
God damn, dude.
That was
Your
good.
speech didn't hype me up. That fucking hyped me up a lot, dude. If you guys don't play this game today, I'm going to be pissed.
What a showman for sure. Yeah. Great speech, coach. I appreciate the kind words. I also appreciate the hateful words too. This is true. It's probably easier for him to have so much hate for the Raiders than for me to have hate for the Broncos.
True.
Just because we're in a real Bronco fans. But yeah, the feeling's so mutual, man. Feeling's so mutual. He said he's gonna put pressure on defense. I'm the opposite. I don't even care about the defense. Like I go out there. I'm like, hey, if you give me an extra drive, you give me a turnover, you give me a stop, good for you. That's a cherry on top. I'm putting all the pressure on offense. This is number one offense. I mentioned this, I'm the number 2 offense. This is the head-to-head clash. My offense has to be better than his offense. And Jason Smith-Njigba has to be better than Ian Smith. Josh Allen has to be better than Justin Herbert. This is the offensive game, and I'm putting all the pressure on. I'm putting the team on Josh Allen's back. I'm putting the team on Jacob's back. I'm putting the team on the offensive line's back. This is gonna be totally, and I like it because it looks like it's gonna be my offense hyped up coming out of the tunnel versus his defense coming out of the tunnel. And again, as far as respect that all that goes, that's a very talented defensive backfield, man. You got the defensive player of the year candidate, Trayvon Mullen Jr. You have what's that? Derek Stingley, right?
I think no, it's JC Horn now.
JC Horn? He has a talented backfield. Very, very talented secondary. He plays a lot of man coverage. He mixes it up with here and there he'll mix up with a little bit of zone to confuse you. He brings a lot of pressure. He likes to blitz. He has very fast, big defensive backs that can get around the edge really fast. So you have to be on your shit to be able to match up against this guy's defensive matchups. It's a nightmare for sure. But again, I put my pressure on my offensive guys. You guys go out there. You have to win me this game. We put a lot of money, a lot of draft capital. We've picked first round guys in a draft. We've drafted. We paid 8-year, $300 million a year contracts to quarterbacks.
$300 million a year.
300 million total. Yeah, you know what I meant.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, we put tight end out there. We got a bruising back. We revamped offensive line. This is what we hear, not because of defense. This is what we hear. Offense needs to show up, and it's gonna be a punch to punch, blow to blow fight. Hopefully tonight.
I love it.
I'm fucking hyped up.
I'm hyped up too. I'm thinking about the 2 quarterbacks and obviously the 2 star receivers, but I'm gonna be. I think you're wise to Ainias Smith. I think he's wise to Jackson Smith and Jigba. So I'm looking for those 2 X factors on each side, and that's Jamar Chase for the Broncos and Mark Andrews for the Raiders. 2 basically 99 overall absolute studs. I expect them to make a lot of plays when you guys rightfully take away that number 1 option tonight. I'm really excited to see kind of like the counter punch and what you guys do when the best option's taken away.
Yeah, it's crazy how how similarly constructed these teams are on both sides of the ball, especially on offense. He has who's his running back?
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, big, kind of like a bruiser. Running back. I got my Dameon Pierce from the same draft class too.
Yeah.
And then he has a combination of Ainias Smith, AJ Brown, and he has Jamar Chase. And on my side I got
no. He doesn't have AJ. Wait, so hold on.
Cortland
so you
Sutton.
got you've got your top 2, and he's got your top. You've got Smith and Jigba and Paris and Quentin Johnson.
Who's number 11 on his team?
And he has Cortland Sutton. Your number 3 receivers are Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton. Like, you guys are identical.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. But we also got you're not giving a lot of love to my number 2 receiver, Quentin Johnston.
I said Quentin Johnson. I just said.
Cool.
I said you guys both have 2 top elite guys. You basically have the same Broncos receiver as your number 3 receiver, Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick. You have Mark Andrews. He has Jelani Woods. Jelani Woods isn't as highly rated, but he's a freak athletically.
Yeah,
and then you got the similar running backs.
Yeah, he's huge, and he has a couple of plays that I know he loves to go to with Jelani Woods, just absolutely killing people vertically and just Moss and safeties over the middle. So we'll be looking again, like this is, they know us, we know them. This is a very familiar opponent, and it's gonna come down to, who's gonna break the tie today.
I can't wait. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's wrap this shit up so you guys can play your game.
All right, let's do it.
All right, great pod.
Yeah, great pod. Thanks for everybody sending their little coach comments. We'd love to do that next round also. And other than that, bro, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the AFC Championship, brother.
See you in the next one. Yo, look out for All Madden merch coming soon. Keep an eye out for streams in the chat and West Coast pod hopefully soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Later, bros.